Hey everyone, so today we are in the Badlands of South Dakota and we are hoping for some prairie agates. I saw something just now when I was poking around that has me excited. It was a broken up concretion, which means we might get some baculites and ammonites, would be awesome. But the main hope for today is at least one Fairburn. I know that's a tall order, but I'm hoping for a Fairburn agate. What do you think, Alexis?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're doing this the old-fashioned way, unfortunately. We have to walk up the road. So we didn't take our car, we took another person's car by force. And it has way less clearance than ours, so yeah, we gotta walk all the way up to that butte. All right, we are definitely on the right track. Nice, good sized prairie agate, and then a pretty little prairie agate. All right, my friends, we have found the gravel. The hunt begins. I see this right here that I wanted to investigate. Prairie agate, look at that prairie agate. That is so pretty. I really love these things. I've said it many times across the channel, but they never look on the inside how you expect them to on the outside. So they are like one of my favorite rocks to cut. They are just wild. This is a good example. Get that wet. Come on. Dark gray, black outside. Bright orange and yellow and pink inside. It's so random. All right, this is beautiful. Look at this jasper. That is flippin' stunning. I think I see something pretty right here. Oh yeah. That actually does have some fortifications, but I would definitely not call that Fairburn. Just typical kind of banded stuff. That is really pretty. Oh, that's dendrites in there. That's awesome. Well, that is a pretty one. I like that one. I'm a fan of that. All right, that's a beautiful jasper. We've got some creamy whites, some pinks. Roll it over. There's some dark, cleary stuff. Some bots, some blue, which is probably gray, Tyndall. Some green. Like that's just nice. There's so much color and variety in the rocks out here. Gotta love the Badlands. Hoping we can find some more big, nice ones like this so that we can cut them on the saw. That's gonna be really pretty. When you get out here, you can really see exactly why it's so difficult to find Fairburn agates, because they've been heavily hunted. So it's really a matter of going to places where people don't normally go. But that being said, you get out here, it's like visual overload. There's just so many rocks, and pretty much any one of these could have those Fairburn fortifications, so you gotta move real slow. I have found a Fairburn once, and it was pretty much the worst case scenario when it comes to fortification agates. So yeah, I'd like an actually good Fairburn. That would be awesome. I'm gonna go back up to the beds in just a minute. I just came down to this little draw because I saw some bigger material. It's exactly what I'm talking about. There is no way of knowing what you're gonna find on the inside of pieces like this. So I'm hoping to find some like that so we can cut them later in the video, because yeah, they are so cool on the inside. Oh, look, that one's got some orbicular stuff going on in there. I'm looking at this one right here and I'm thinking that is gonna be really pretty to cut. I see some clear pockets in there. Heck yeah. I am shocked. We've been to a bunch of different places. Oh, hey, check that out. There's a brachiopod imprint in there. Been to a bunch of different spots in the Badlands to hunt for agates. This is definitely the best. There's so much color on these ones compared to, like, we found good stuff at pretty much all of the places we've gone, but it's like every rock is just nice over here. What you find? Ooh, look at all the drusies.
It's weird. It's like 2 in 1.
That is, it's really weird. That's like an agate grew around an agate. I like that. It might have something to do with the fact that we don't have a whole lot of time, but I could pretty much only describe this hunting as analysis paralysis. You just look, it's overwhelming. There's so much stuff. You gotta move super slow so that you can actually like analyze everything. Because when you stop and look a little bit closer, oh, that ground is so hard. It's like literally why I brought a hammer today. Didn't plan on breaking anything, but man, the ground gets so hard. Yeah, there's some good stuff. It's just, if you're moving too fast, you're just not ever gonna see, because it all just looks like orange. Look at that. If you look up a little, all just looks orange. Oh, there's such pretty stuff though. You guys, this rock right here, it wants to be a Fairburn so bad. Look at all the fortifications in there. Just not quite the kind of fortifications we're looking for. There's a bunch of tiny, but man, why couldn't they all just form into one large set of fortifications? It wants to be a Fairburn so badly. Ah, there's another one. Wants so badly to be a Fairburn. There are actually a lot of fortifications in this rock. So close, sir. So close. This is so cool. It's like every time you come around a corner, there's another hill with more agates. It's just crazy. Here's another prime example of what I was talking about earlier. If you looked at this rock, what would you expect the inside to look like? See that dark kind of gray? Slightly transparent. Kind of turns into a kind of a purpley, like kind of pinky gray on the other side. Yeah, then you flip it over and it's just orange. Like what? I love it. It's every single rock you cut is just a surprise, and it's great. Look what Alexis is rocking. Iris agate necklace. Don't know if that video's come out yet, but regardless, if it has, go watch it. If it hasn't yet, look forward to Iris agate necklace video coming soon and stuff and whatnot. You like it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Look at the color on that one. That is beautiful. I would love to get closer for you guys, but I can't use my other camera today because it's super windy right now. That is so pretty. So earlier in the video, I mentioned that I have found one Fairburn before, but it was like worst case scenario. So I figured I'd actually explain what I meant by that. You find a Fairburn, you want it on the face of the rock, maybe wrapping around like there, but you want it on the broad side, or at least a broad-ish side, a broad side, not necessarily the broad side, but anyway, yeah, that's what you want. Mine was long and skinny like this, and the fortification rings went around this way. So there was no way you could actually look at it and see all the fortifications in one spot. Yeah, so I have one. It's a pretty orange and white and black one, but yeah, it's kind of worst case scenario when it comes to Fairburns. All right, guys, I think that is about all the time we have for here. Of course, we're gonna hunt our way back. Like, if I see anything cool, of course I'm gonna stop and investigate, so I might be back before we get to the car. But yeah, I have a date with my favorite place in the world, so I don't want to miss that time frame. So I'll be back if I find something cool. If not, I guess I'll be back when we get to the shop. All right, we are back to the shop. So let's grab some Prairie Agates and start cutting. All right, so these are the ones I was looking at cutting. We've got some really nice ones. These were actually the bigger ones that I went to collect specifically so we could cut them later. I think some of these are gonna be really nice. This one, I have high hopes for this being really nice because I see some interesting stuff down in there. Could be good. And with this one, hard to know until we get into it. So, you know what? Since this one's in my hand already, let's start with this one. I love these things so much. So, we've got like a dark black crust. You see some yellow. It's really, really dark, like a charcoal color. Yeah, then you get inside it, and it's just like beautifully transparent. Look at that. So much color. There are some beautiful reds in there. That is flippin' stunning. Look at that. Love me some Prairie Agates. Let's do this one next. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna get out of this one. Should be nice though. And again, kind of just a, you know, kind of ugly lumpy rock on the outside. And then on the inside, you've got all this explosion of color. Like seriously, just look how pretty that is. Never know that much color was hiding on the inside of that thing. That's so cool. Let's do this one next. I'm expecting good things from this. Again, I ask, where the heck is all this color coming from? Saw how like just grayed kind of, you know, khaki color in some spots. And you just get into it and there's like all this brilliant red going on. Let's do this one next, I think. All right, so far, this is probably the only one that is along the lines of what I would expect based on the outside. Matching colors, kind of a transparent center. Really nice color though. These polish really, really well too. This one's actually pretty cool. It has like a little rim up top of banding. That's pretty cool. I think let's do this one next. It has a beautiful pink tone that I think will yield some very pretty slabs. So let's find out. Yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna have some nice pink color in there. Don't listen to the color right now, it's still covered in oil. So, and I use a little bit of a coolant, so it turns everything yellowish. That is really pretty though. There's some really fine detail in there. It's almost like kind of plumy, kind of. That would make a really, really pretty cab. All right, well, I think the last one we're gonna cut today is gonna be this one right here. That is gonna be super nice. I just got a good feeling about this one. So, let's load it up. You know what? That one was actually less impressive than I was expecting. It's fine. It's just I was expecting more from the outside. There's nothing wrong with it. I just expected greatness. We did actually get something interesting right here. There's actually little fortifications in here. Really, really faint, but they're there. I refuse to end the cutting on a dud. So, I went and grabbed this one, which looks all over the place on the outside, which means it should be pretty cool on the inside. And I'm literally just gonna cut this in half. There we go. That is much better. That is one beautiful, busy little agate. Oh, come on, flashlight. There we go. There's so much going on in there. That is going to make some wonderful cabochons. Alrighty, well, I have a feeling that if I continue cutting, this video is going to be ridiculously long. So, as much as I would like to continue and cut all of them in one video, that ain't possible. So, let's take a look at some of my favorites. Alright, so here are some that I wanted to highlight. Man, there is just no shortage of color with these things. It's just awesome. Come on, turn on. There we go. Bright red, pink, orange. They're just so cool, but you know, if I cut into this, it'll probably look different on the inside. This one is a great example of that because it's just kind of gray and crusty on one side. The other side is actually a little fractured so you can see into it. Look at how pretty that is. Here, I can get closer. There is just so much going on in there. That almost looks plumy. Ah, it's so pretty. Love it, love it, love it. This is another one that I really like. It's pink and orbicular. Orbicular. There's little quartz pockets. Gotta love it. Honestly, this one would be prime for trimming down into some cabs because, yeah, that texture in there would be absolutely beautiful cut. This one's cool because it's got like nice color on the outside. I'm gonna back up a little. Nice color on the outside, but it just has this weird botryoidal druzy pocket on the other side. I might cut this in half just to see what it looks like. You know what? Let's just go do that really quick. Well, here it is cut in half. And it's pretty cool. Lots of wispy orange. There's banding all the way around the outside, not in the middle, but all along the outside. So yeah, I'm probably gonna just polish that end at some point. This one is a good example of just how busy these agates can be. There is just so much going on this one. That's just on the outside. I actually really like throwing pieces like this into the tumbler. And this one Alexis found, and it's really cool. So we've got like little orbs on the inside. Usually they're really, really, really opaque. Look how freaking agate this one is though. I feel like one of the few that I can actually like would reliably call that one agate. Also, I never have understood why they're called agates. They should just be called jaspers because there's, you know, okay, so here's an example. The one I always use is Sweetwater agate. There's no banding, just dendritic. So why is that an agate, but it doesn't have banding when a defining feature of agate is banding? It's kind of the same with prairie agates. They don't really have banding or moss, so why do we call them agates? I'll tell you why. We just don't question it. We just accept that they're called prairie agates and move on with our life. All right, so these next ones are prairie agates with fortifications. Not Fairburn, but prairie agates with fortifications. And this one is probably my favorite out of all of the ones that have forts. This is just so cool. Because there's fortifications literally just covering the entire rock. This would be a really, really cool one to polish, actually. This one right here wanted so badly to be a Fairburn. Look at that holly pattern fortification pocket right there. It's just tiny. Like, for example, here's my thumbnail next to it, for example. Yeah, it's not a Fairburn, it's just a prairie agate with fortifications. But man, this one really wanted it. It really wanted it. We have this one, which I am probably gonna tumble, because there's a lot going on in this little rock. Hoping my camera will cooperate, because there's like little fortification pockets over here. There's a band that goes all the way around right there. Has wonderful color. It's just a cool little agate. I like it a lot. There's quite a bit going on in there. So I'm thinking, yeah, just throw it in the tumbler. Speaking of polishing, I am absolutely polishing this one. We've got a beautiful pocket of quartz on top. And then all the way around, there's these weird bands. All the way around that quartz pocket. So I think that would be a really, really cool one to polish. This one has me both confused and frustrated. It has me confused because it does have fortifications. You see we got a big quartz top. And they look real good. And they go all the way around. They look very Fairburny. But it's either not a Fairburn and just a prairie agate with fortifications, or I have continued my streak of, finding Fairburn agates that have the worst possible fortification pattern. So my plan with this one is actually to polish it when the flat lap arrives, which as of recording this, should be tomorrow. So yeah, I'll probably just like roll the edges and then polish the face, just so we can see those bands a little more clearly. Because I honestly don't know, and I probably won't until I polish it. Alright, so I've mentioned it so many times now, I figured I'd show you all. This is the only true Fairburn I have found. Right here. Focus, sir. And as you can see, it is truly the worst case scenario. Because those fortifications wrap all the way around. We've got nice color variation and everything. We got a cool smoky quartz top, but there's no way you can look at this rock and see all of the fortifications at once. And yeah, that's kind of the whole point of fortification agates. So it is one technically, but yeah, it's not the best. But wait, the story doesn't end there. As it turns out, after cleaning all of the rocks, we actually did get a Fairburn, like for sure. Now here's the sad part. See that little tiny pocket right there? Yeah, that's it. It's itty bitty, but hey, it still counts. That's crazy. I don't know what to do with this. Do I just leave it raw because it's one of my only Fairburns, or do I throw it in the tumbler? I don't know. I don't know. So I guess I can add a Fairburn to my collection. And as you can see from this sad little handful, the vendetta continues. We will go back, hopefully this year, if not next year, and I will continue my hunt for a decent Fairburn agate. Alrighty guys, I think that is going to do it for this one. I would love to cut and well, not cut, because we already cut, polish some of these in this video, but yeah, like I said, my fasting machine is the only means I have of grinding right now, and I am not about to try grinding and polishing this thing on that. But the flat lap should be back tomorrow as of this recording, so we should be able to continue on as normal. Actually, when this video comes out, I will probably be gone already. I'm going on an amazing trip. I'm very, very excited. It's going to be flipping awesome, and I can't wait to share those videos with you all. I have links in the description
to various stuffs, including my my second channel, and also the event page for the Gem and Mineral Show, of which I am doing, and also I'm doing a meet and greet on the 4th of August. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it for this one. I mean, these things never, just truly, they never get old. There's just so much variation in color and character. They're the best. If you find yourselves in South Dakota, go to the agate beds, because these things are awesome. And you will never find two that look the same. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.